So now we're getting a little bit more into the actual procedure itself. And the first thing we're going to talk about today is the handling of bowel tissue. So the bowel is very delicate and fragile, so you want to handle it very gently. You're going to want to use your double graspers. You don't want to squeeze it too tightly because you could crush it and damage it. You don't want to grab it too firmly, and you want to just handle it gently. You want to try to avoid tearing the serosa. If you do tear it, if you're the assistant or the surgeon, you're looking around as you handle this to make sure you didn't tear it. If you do tear it, they're probably going to take a silk suture and just sew shut the serosa there so to support it so that it doesn't tear more post-op. Because if you think about it, during surgery, you're doing surgery on an empty bowel, and then when they wake up, they're going to be eating the bowel. You're going to have peristalsis and you're going to have dilation, and so you won't want that to stretch later on and then tear more. So they're going to be careful when they have that. When you're working with the mesentery, again, you want to handle that gently. If they're suturing it, they're going to take, like when they're closing after, when they are concerned that they've done a resection and they're concerned that they might have an internal hernia created down at the mesentery where it's been dissected, and they may be putting a purse string around. If they're putting a purse string around, then they're going to be very careful to take an extremely shallow bite of the mesentery because they don't want to get into the vessels. There are a lot of vessels that run up to the bowel through the mesentery. If they were to get into into a vessel, they might get a hematoma. Now this sounds like it could be fairly innocuous, but it's not necessarily. The danger with having a hematoma in the mesentery is you have the hematoma is on the inside sealed by the mesentery, and because the vessels are in it. And then you have the peritoneum that's covering it. So that vessel can leak, and as it's leaking, the hematoma spreads. And the more the hematoma spreads, the more pressure it's putting because it's being held by the peritoneum in place. And then you get a compartment syndrome, and the vessels in that area can be compressed and occluded. And as a result, and I have seen it once when we've gone back in with a surgeon, and that's what we found was a hematoma in the mesentery. You can actually get dead bowel as a result if enough of the blood supply is cut off by that hematoma. So you want to be careful when you're handling the mesentery. The transverse bowel, which we talked about in the anatomy, has a lot of attachments to it. It's attaching up to the stomach, and then it also attaches up to the stomach with the gastrocolic, and then to the spleen with the splenocolic. So, and I'm going to show you a picture of this in a minute. So when you're dealing with, especially if you're dealing with an open case and you're the surgeon or you're the assistant, if it's an open case, you really are going to find that I was always amazed how deep in you got when you were assisting on a mobilization of the splenic flexure, getting out the spleen. You're going to be putting your hands in there, holding back, because you're going to be really deep. You could be in that far. And holding back the bowel with your hands or with a long thumb forceps and trying to keep it out of the way so they can see what they're trying to dissect. And you can actually, if you're not careful, if you're pulling that bowel away, because it attaches to the spleen, you can rupture the splenic capsule and then end up getting bleeding. And I did see that happen once. And, then it's very difficult and very tricky to get a spleen to stop bleeding. So you want to handle that tissue. Know that it attaches, so you don't want to pull down hard on that. You want to be aware of that and want to avoid tearing it. If you have, we were talking earlier, if you got a serosal tear and they were going to tie it, if you're tying on the bowel, you don't want to tie too tight because the bowel's so fragile. If you tie, you want to tie snugly, but not tight like you would on the fascia, because you could actually have that suture could tear through as you pull it tight. It could tear through the serosa. So you want to be careful when you're doing that and handle it gently. When you are dealing with, you're going in on an open procedure and you're dealing with a lot of adhesions that are attached up to the parietal wall, then what they're going to do is they're going to make their incision, they're going to go down and get to the fascia. And if it's really attached to that, you may take a coker and they'll give you the coker. And when they stop moving, that's when, with the coker, that's probably when you need to take it. Or you can if you know you have a free space, you can grab the fascia yourself, and then you're going to grab that fascia with the coker and you're going to pull it up. And then they're going to be pulling down, the surgeon's going to be pulling down as they're trying to tease those adhesions off. Now, once in a while, you have extremely dense and extensive adhesions. And sometimes the surgeon, one of the surgeons that I worked with, when he had that kind of adhesion, preferred to work with a knife because a knife could very gently slice through the adhesion without slicing through the bowel. Whereas if you're doing it with a scissors, sometimes you can't always see the tip and you're more likely to do an enterotomy, an unintended enterotomy. So he liked to use the knife. And you just have to be really, really patient and careful when you have extensive adhesions. And if you're the assistant, if you have those adhesions, then you're going to be taking, especially if it's a small bowel, you're going to be taking and you're going to be spreading like this. And then as you spread those adhesions, you're going to get that bloodless plane, and you're going to help the surgeon to be able to see what he needs to see to get rid of the adhesions. And let me just see what I have next. What you're probably going to be doing is triangulating. So here I'm just showing you a picture of what I was talking about. You can see on the one you have the gastrocolic ligament laying there under the liver, and on the right side, as the stomach's lifted up, you can see how this ligament on the bottom is also attached to the transverse colon, and it goes up under there. If you looked up in that little V to the right of the stomach, that's up where the spleen is. So you can see how if you pulled on that, that could tear that splenic capsule, and that is not what you would want to do. So being aware of these things helps you to be able to perform the surgery more safely because you're ready for it and you know what to look for and you know how to handle each kind of tissue that you're dealing with.